Nigeria is 54. And much of this time has been under the military, leaving the legislature badly bruised.
Because the military had made it very unpopular for the legislatures to strive, people see the legislature as the politicians who are fraud-natured politicians.
At the return of democracy in 1999, it was rather difficult for the legislature to take off effectively. And it didn't take time for the lack of experience to show in steady battles for leadership, sometimes ending in open wrestling bouts.
Certainly, military intervention has been very, very impactful in the most negative way, in the manner that we have developed, or the lack of development of our nation to this point.
But all of these seem to be changing, and it looks as though the legislature is gradually getting its groove back, so to speak. The improvement seen in the quality of debates, bills and resolution is tied to the current stability in the legislature. Today, the legislature is reviewing the constitution and constantly working on the Electoral Act, but it is doing so in the face of many challenges.
Today, we have a Senate president that is serving his 7th year. It has never happened before. And you can see the quality of deliberation in the chambers, and of course, the laws we pass.
At the point where now, I am really, really impressed by the quality of individuals who are beginning to take an interest, who are beginning to participate. And that for me has informed, if you like, the quality even of discussions, the quality of deliberations, and even the quality of deliverance and governance that we're experiencing at this point in time.
There is a perception that lawmakers are sitting on gold, collecting huge salaries and allowances.
Because this is an allegation that is as old as 3 or 4 years ago, and I thought that this debate was settled because we put out our salaries, and I don't think that we even rank among the 50th or 60th in the world in terms of remuneration.
And this has increased the competition for their seats, putting many lawmakers under intense pressure to either deliver the goods or forget re-election. And in the political culture of power sharing, many have mastered the act of flowing with the tide just to retain their positions.
As things stand today, you must work very, very hard as a legislator. You've got to be able to connect, with your constituency in more ways than one. Those variables that society, looks at to be able to judge the performance in office of a legislator, things that have to do with your performing even executive functions, to be able to, appeal, to the sentiments of the communities and the constituencies that you are representing.
The legislature is the hub of modern democracy, and the Nigerian legislature has demonstrated this capacity since 1999, almost applying its ultimate power to impeach then-President Olusegun Obasanjo in 2003.
I think that impeachment is not an institution, an instrument that should be deployed recklessly. It should be an instrument that should be deployed when it becomes absolutely unavoidable.
Many haven't forgotten the third-term saga that followed.
I was not here then, but we were very convinced that the third time was never going to fly, because there is a constitution, and if that is not amended, then it's practically impossible for anybody to want to override his ideas on that of the constitution.
There is also the doctrine of necessity by the National Assembly to pull Nigeria out of the brink of constitutional crisis.
It is this time-tested doctrine of necessity that had to be deployed at that point in time to salvage the situation, to save the country from going into crisis, because truly the country was seesawing at the edge of a major crisis.
The same institution rose to the occasion, declaring the state of emergency in the Northeast in response to insurgency. At 54, it's been a tough journey for Nigeria, with a mixed bag of ups and downs. But as long as the country remains work in progress, a robust legislature is required to navigate the current democratic expedition. Omor, Bazuaye, AIT News, Abuja.